I was a former instructional coach. I say to this day it was my favorite job because it's all about building the capacity of others so that they can then lead and teach and do all of those great things. As a principal, I take that role with me as well. I lead first as an instructional coach because I think the best way to build capacity, even as an instructional leader, is to engage teachers in conversations and reflective conversations about how they can get better, what their strengths are, and what are some areas for improvement. So not just giving the answers or not saying you've done this and you need to do this, but empowering them to see that within themselves.
The way we see instructional coaching is as much practice changing as it is belief changing. We all need help with realizing success and implementation of things in our classrooms. So the instructional coaching part comes in as support for teachers, as advice for teachers, helping teachers develop an understanding of why these changes need to occur. It's not about the principal, it's not about one team, it is about us together moving forward.
It's so important to develop a culture of coaching in your building. And it might not be formal coaching of teachers, but teachers feeling open to share with each other, to share new ideas. And some ways of doing that as a principal, whenever I'm in classrooms, I'm always looking for the great things that I'm seeing happening. And in my weekly memo every week to staff, the very first part of the weekly memo includes, here's great things that I saw this week. That way, whenever they read it, they're getting new ideas from their own colleagues. And they have their own, almost their own experts in the building. So if they want to try something new, they know to go to this teacher and find out more about it.
I think when trust starts to grow in your school, you'll start to see more teachers come to the fore celebrating the wins that they have with their coach. And the second you start sharing student stories, once you get to that point as a school leader, game over. Everyone's going to be, I think, bought in hook, line, and sinker. Once they start to see change in students, I firmly believe that every person inside a school will start to gravitate towards whatever's causing those changes to become very positive. So finding space where teachers can be the ones kind of sharing their experiences in front of the faculty. And even if you've got a faculty, if you're starting a program that's averse to coaching or they're new to it, there's going to be a teacher who is going to absolutely love it right off the bat, guarantee you.
It's so important to tap into the people who have the good energy. Sometimes those are the pioneers because they're willing to take risks, they're willing to try new things, and they usually have a positive energy that they share with other people. Sometimes, though, it's important that we don't always tap into the same people, where the staff continues to see the same faces leading the professional development opportunities or leading the training, leading the coaching. Because what they do is they tend to think, well, I'm not that person. I can't be that person. And I think you have to continue to look for strengths in each and every person, whether they're pioneers or maybe the ones who come after the pioneers. But you really look at the people with the energy who can share it and bring it to the rest of the staff.
I went to some of my really good teachers and invited them to be coached, and so that right away we reduced that stigma that only people who were struggling worked with coaches. And we tried to just celebrate successes as much as we could in a non-threatening way, if you will.
It's all about relationships. It's about the small things that you do each and every day. It's about being consistent, learning about your staff, asking questions, visiting their classrooms often, seeing what they're doing, creating those discussions, making those opportunities meaningful. So when you're seeing a teacher in the classroom or you're between classes and they're at their door, stopping to ask them questions, talking to them about their technology use, sharing tips, sharing blog posts, sharing websites, all small consistent interactions to build trust and build relationships with your teachers.